What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? This is James. RedemptionAgency.com, 21 years selling on eBay. And we're Friday, aren't we? Friday, it is. All right, so got a couple of decent items here. One item, it was kind of the indicator to me when vintage was kind of losing the hype that it always has. That's had for quite a while. This item has sat so long, for me, it kind of indicated a slow turn of the trends. We'll go over this week's numbers. And if I remember, I'm going to put a video at the end. If you're on Facebook and you follow me there, you probably saw the video already. I'm going to put it on the end of this video, more than likely. So I tried to upload it as a short, but it wouldn't work. And I think it's because it was recorded the wrong direction. So I'll tag it on the video. So don't laugh too hard. It was 30 years since I even tried to do this. So, but I'll put that on at the end. Remember, James? And yeah, let's get into yesterday, the numbers, eBay, and it's the weekend. So I gotta remember when I go to the post office to drive by that yard sale and see if that guy's there. I'm thinking he works during the week, so he probably won't be there today, but I will check just in case. If not, I gotta remember to go there tomorrow. Strap on my camera. There's another decent dollar item that just sold. Nice. That was weird. But anyway, so yes, so I gotta remember that. Let me see what that was right quick. Okay, so overnight offers are definitely off. There was definitely a huge shutdown overnight on eBay. Let's see, I got no offers. I haven't had an offer probably about 10 to 11 hours before I got two at 7 a.m. this morning. We're at 8:55 right now. So I have not got, I got one at, I got an international one at 155 British pounds. Then I've got a one at 7 and one at 7:18. And we're going on 9 a.m. and I haven't received another one. So offers is still definitely jacked up. As far as sales, it seemed like between, let's see, that's a paid. So it seems like between 10:30 p.m. last night Central Time till 5 o'clock this morning. So we're looking at about 6.5 hours at least of like an eBay shutdown. But since then, I've got several. I got, let's see, one at 5 a.m. I got like 3 at 6 a.m. 3 orders in 7 o'clock hour. And then I took, no, that was 1, 2, 3, 4 sales in the 8 o'clock hour. No, 5. 6. But some of those could have been the offer, a couple of the offers I took. One is for sure. So 6 sales. The other one is not. So out of 6 sales in the 8 o'clock hour, one of those was an offer I took. So 5 straight sales in the 8 o'clock hour. Good sign, positive sign. Things turning back on, going in the right direction maybe. I decided since yesterday, because I had noticed my traffic on promoted was less than half of where it was before. And then I kind of threw it in with that whole organic issue that's been going on. As of yesterday, I still had, I'll check today, but 0 organic impression or page views, but yet I had organic sales. So we just know that number is jacked up. But the promotions were so low. And then I remembered, but still, I had started doing that dynamic +2, and it seemed to be working. So it may have just been because of the site. So I decided to change that up yesterday, was it about late yesterday, and just hit a solid number again like I used to at 15%, just to see this weekend if I get a spike or not. So yesterday ended $600. So still way down from where it should be. This morning we are at 9 a.m. At 10 a.m. I like to be 150 to 250. On the good days, I'm usually topping that. On the good days, meaning eBay's working properly days, I'm usually topping that. I'm at $212 at 9 a.m. So that's a positive. But like I said before, this past week, we'll just call it the week, the day changes consistently throughout the day. It'll just stop on a dime. So can't really forecast the day right now because the way it's acting. Before, I could always forecast the day. I could tell the day by how many offers I send out in the morning, how much money I have at 10 a.m. I could get a feel of how the day's going as a whole. But it hasn't worked like that. At 7 or 8, it'll shut off. The last couple of days, it just never really taken off. So it's very hard to gauge the day this past week. So we went from like the one of the best weeks ever I had to one of the worst weeks ever. So and it switched overnight. So yesterday we got 45 items sold, 26 organic, 19 promoted. So 19 is less than half of where it should be. Still getting the same amount of impressions. The page view still reads 0 for yesterday. Still reads 44 for the day before, but the 2 days prior to that have changed. Those numbers have where they were low. The one says 1297 now. The other says 1035. So as of this morning, it's saying 8, so it's still off. But I got 11 sold, 4 organic, 7 promoted. So maybe up in that 15% is helping out, upping from the dynamic to the fixed. Help that maybe. We'll see. All my numbers are down, but let's check the week as a whole and see what we've done. Customize. So I do Thursday to Thursday pretty much. So we're going the 20th through the 27th. Yeah, total sales $6,289, down 14%. Nasty, not good. Selling cost $1,416, 22.5% of total sales. Net sales $4,522, down 12%. Quantity sold 430 items, down 11%. Average sale per item $1,463, that's down 3.3%. I like to keep that at 15 higher plus. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top 5 items sold for this week. And they're all down. Most down drastically. So coming in at number 5, dropping a few spots because it's wearing off, is sports memorabilia, sports memorabilia, fan shop, fan apparel, basically Cardinal stuff. So only $266 in Cardinals items and other MLB items, down 20%. Next up, I expected this to be down, video games and video game consoles. And number 4 with $319, down 34.5%. That's down basically because I don't have those Nintendo 64s anymore. Number 3 is going to be the same as always, and that's cassette tapes. Cassette tapes, I did $705 this past week, down 5%. Number 2, still the same. CDs. CDs, I sold $936, down 28%. And number 1, as always, hats. $1,442 in hats, down 27%. Ugly. And I did notice even you're using the dynamic thing, that the hats, when they were promoted, were coming in at 18%. So they were actually up more percentage higher than what I promote at normally. So for them to be at 18% and still have like down 30% going into warmer weather, my hat sales usually increase going into warmer weather and throughout the summer. So, but as we know, the site's been a wreck. So hopefully we'll start the weekend off in the right direction. Dun, 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 dun. Say hi to Mr. Sunshine. I'm so glad that you dropped in. Take a step in the right direction. All right. So that's where we are at today. Zoom, boom, boom. So I got like 20 something items here. Cube 26 is that other piece. Sold for $21. It just sold. Nice. All right, so let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see if there's any questions and stuff before we get into this. To get me some topic to talk about. I threw up that late night video last night for pulling. All right, first up, is $1.20 profit per CD worth it? You have to sell around 85 CDs to make $100, providing you don't have any refunds. With CD sales falling every year, just wondering if you have plans at some point to shift your CD focus and all other products. Well, CDs is always number 2 on my list of the highest thing I sell. Actually, CDs sales are not dropping. They're actually increasing with the whole LP thing still growing. Cassettes are growing. CDs are growing again. People are liking to have, even the younger generation, liking to have those physical copies in hand to have a collection, if you will. The thing about everything online, you're always going to have those people who want to, how do I put that? Like, they want to see their hard work, if you will. Like if you go to work every day and you got a job and you like to kind of, I think that's where the whole shopping thing comes from. You like to see your hard work in front of you. The digital world, you can't see that hard work. You know, you can't show off when somebody comes in your house. They're not going to go, oh, look at that playlist you have. No, they're going to be like, oh, nice TV, nice stereo system, nice music collection, nice shoe collection, nice purse collection. They're not going to look at anything digital. Ooh, you got some cool NFTs. No, it's not. So that's where there's always going to be a feel for the physical items. Plus, you get a lot more with it. You know, you can sit down in a chair, almost like a book, and pull out a CD, pull out the cover, and get stuff. Info that that you can't get on digital. You're gonna get the lyrics. You're gonna get songwriting credits. You're gonna get people love still having physical things. Of course, it's not as big as it was 10 years ago, etc. But in the last, like I would say 4 or 5 years, CDs, cassettes, and albums are all still steadily taking a increase. So. $1.20, is that worth it? Yes. When I sell so many and I can do everything from list to ship in about a minute's time. So that's $1.20 a minute. So that's how I gauge it. You have to be thorough. If you're going to make that low profit on items, you have to be thorough with everything you do. You can't spend 5 minutes on that item because then it's not worth it. If you can spend a minute on it, it's worth it. So. That's what makes it worth it. It's volume and quickness. Got to have systems. Always have a system in place for everything. Like I can list a hat, everything from hat pulling obviously takes a little bit longer for the hats when I have to dig through the tote. but I get more value out of the hats. But I can still list them in about the same amount of time. It takes 4 more clicks and a little bit longer upload when the app's working. But you got to have a system for everything you do. Always kind of do things in bulk when you're listing. That's the best way to do it quick. I enjoy listening to your videos while I am doing other things like cooking and listing on eBay. I learn from you and just list everything. I may even, if it's low dollar stuff, it gives me inspiration to list everything in my death pile and clear it out. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. Well, let's get this started and then I'll come back and we'll get into the more questions and stuff. But let's get to moving. We've got Belly, EP, Geppetto, boom, headed to Knoxville, Tennessee, and that sold for $630. So, it kind of stinks that you can't judge the day on eBay right now to the morning, because if that was the case, I would show I'm going to have a good day. But as this week has shown, nothing is consistent. Change from 1 hour to the next, and literally does. Boom, 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 boom. Alrighty now. Just a heads up, I searched store in Spain and Europe and it came up with 63,000 items. Interesting. I guess it depends on how you look. I know, like the eBay reps, when they look at my store, they will see that huge number because I use web interprets and ship and have on all the items. So I'm not sure how you're looking and why it's doing it on the terrestrial side, if you will, I guess. Josh says, I switched back on yesterday. My overnights was very slow. I'm hoping that these things resolve soon. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even check stamps to see if it's working. I forgot to send them an email and say give them my $150 back, because it's still not working. But yeah, I didn't switch on yesterday, and it definitely was shut down overnight. And since 7 a.m., things have been rolling. So if that keeps going, it'll be good. Next up, we got Billy Coben, Total Eclipse vinyl. Headed to Pennsylvania. Sold for $4. Yesterday, I was pretty much taking all offers. It's like, just to get some activity, get a little bit of cash. Normally, I don't go $4 on the vinyl, but unless it's been sitting or something. But alright, so we've got the vinyl. The vinyl. Do I have a vinyl? Actually, I haven't sold much vinyl lately, have I? I don't even think I have a vinyl for the US. I do not. All right, so we make one. 12-12-1. We got 12.3. Save package name as LPUS. Oh, whoops. And qualifies as medium ale. There we go. Oops. No, I don't want custom form. Or do I? No, yeah, it's Pennsylvania. All right, qualifies, get rates. But. Say no. I appreciate all these comments and stuff, guys. I really do. It definitely helps the algorithm on YouTube. So much appreciated. I was listing at 10 p.m. last night through my free Flip app. Yeah, I forgot about that one, that Flip app, too, when I was talking about cross-listing things. Yes, something is certainly going on. I sell around 10K each 90 days of trading cards. I list cards daily, no promotions, am not a store, and keep between 215 and 300 listings up at any given time. Something is definitely up and has been all this week. I noticed several of my top items views dropped by like hundreds in a 12 to 24 hour period, which doesn't seem right. Yes, the one went from 336 views or something like that down to 253 roughly. Something going on. So yeah, it's just been a mess. Had decent sales this evening after 2 slow days. Same with Josh. Good sales yesterday evening. My buddy who lists every day quite a bit said he had a burst of international sales this week. Wishing everyone all the best this weekend. And I forget to like these when it looked like I had a little burst of international sales, because it looked like I at least had 3 out of this 20. And for an overnight, that's what I like to see. So Slayer. 12:45 a.m. and eBay is not working. Yeah, I looked at the indicator, down indicator yesterday. It was just all spikes all day. Both of my last sales are going to Canada. I am fine with that. Of course, a sale is a sale is a sale. I had like 5 people reaching out to me saying they could not complete a payment after I accepted their offer. Today, 2 of the 5 said this is weird. I want to now cancel. Yeah, there's definitely issues going on with the offers with checkout. And then there was an offer with, seemed like combining orders and sending out invoices too. So. Alrighty, back to work, James. Alrighty, next up we got a little Billy Squire, Emotions in Motion, cassette sealed. Headed to Boston, Mass. Sold for $8. This is another one of my Smoky Mountain cassettes. How I can tell is it still got the old price tag on the spine. Country Music USA that I bought all those cassettes from. I still remember that day. It was the first, no, it wasn't. Was it the first time? It may have been the first time. My dad had been to the Smoky Mountains. So I remember sitting back at the cabin with all my bags of cassettes and sorting them. On vacation, I'm sorting product instead of enjoying the views of the Smoky Mountains. That was after we were out all day, though, so it was relaxing. My favorite place to go is the Smoky Mountains. The Smoky Mountains. Alrighty. Budweiser hat. Budweiser. Headed to the UK and sold for $9. To the UK you go. I guess they hadn't heard about the boycott over there. People are funny. People are people, so why should it be? You and I should get along so swimmingly. I don't know the words to that song. I just make it up as I go. People are people, so why should... Oh, yeah, it's international. Go back. International hat, James. Now we go. 5'8". 5'8". Da 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 da. You know, I did the kind of cool thing about the way technology and the internet today, like this past week or whatever, like Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon both lost their jobs, right? But all they have to do is set up their own channel on YouTube, and they're still going to rake in hundreds of $1,000s a year. So it's kind of cool how if you're popular with whatever you do, it's so easy to transition to something else as opposed to trying to find a new job because I got to pay my bills type of thing. You can just set up a spot in your basement and do what you did on TV and still make hundreds of $1,000s a year, you know. I think that's kind of cool. Like, you don't have to worry about people like that because you know they're going to do their own thing anyway and probably not only, they may make more money than when they're, I don't know what their salaries were, but you have a whole lot more freedom too, so. Dakota Stanton, isn't this a lovely day? Why, yes, Dakota, yes, it is. But I'd recommend you do something about those eyebrows because they're killing me. They're killing me. Actually, they're not even eyebrows. It looks like she's got eyebrows and she tried to cover them up with makeup and then she painted a higher arch over them. Is it just me or am I seeing things? Maybe it's a shadow. But you do you. Whatever you like, you do you. Headed to Bronxville, New York. Sold for $10.50. If it makes you smile, you do it. As long as you're not hurting nobody else. As long as you're not taking somebody else's smile away, do what makes you smile. So I started yesterday with the whole, like I've probably only been about 2 months in, just because I got hit with the Vern thing and I kind of went backwards a little bit mentally, right? Because I'm dealing with him dying in front of me and what have you. And yesterday or day before, I'm just like, okay, I gotta change this mindset. I gotta get back to me. Because like extra weight, that's not me. You can tell if I've been through like stressful times because I have that little ring going around my belly. I'm not like, I can't, it's hard to feel like the I know some people think this is weird. It's hard to feel like the energies around me when I don't have a nice, free, happy mind. I pulled this last night, the ELO pen. Headed to Torrance, California, and sold for $12.50. So, like the video at the end of, you'll see at the end of this video, it's just kind of like me trying to re-grab my youth without breaking a hip. So I'm just trying to change my really change my mind, get back to worrying about me first. Because another cool thing that's happening is like, because I took care of my dad for 6 years. And during that time and before that time, Jan's health has been pretty bad. With rheumatoid arthritis, which caused the blindness in the left eye. The first thing it caused was PG, I don't know how it's pronounced, where the holes open up in your skin. You can see like down the muscle and stuff. And that's just a couple of the things that's wrong with her. But since they put her on the new medicine, they took her off Humira, and she's on a new Sextenda, I think. Like, it's really been keeping everything in check. The Crohn's and her original hole in her leg, it's never healed, never. And we're going on, that started probably 8 years ago. It had never fully healed. There was always still a gash there. It would always still get deeper. And she was always still bandaging it almost daily. But since this new med, within the last week, it's starting to really close up. I mean, it's probably like that big now, which is wow. It's never been that. So her health is definitely on the up and up, or at least stable, I should say. Not up and up. It's not going back. It's not going to get better. It's just going to be under control, or it's not going to be under control. So it's definitely under control. So it's a perfect time and I'm kind of looking at Vern like every other puppy in my life, they've died suddenly, right? And you just get smacked. I'm at least getting to enjoy his last months with him. I'm trying not to cry. And it's not working. So I'm looking at it like that and just trying to put all the focus back on myself. And I think you've probably maybe even kind of seen it. At least I felt it when I'm making these videos. And you may have been able to even catch up on it too, that I guess it's more like a freer feeling when I'm myself. Because growing up with nothing, I didn't care what you thought. I had been bullied. I had been told I'm going to be nothing. I had teachers who tell me I'm going to be nothing, right? So my whole life I was always told, put down some way, somewhere, even in my own household. So I had to build up my own confidence to quiet those voices in my head. And I remember growing up, as a teen, even some of my friends would say I had an ego. I'm like, I don't have an ego. I just got confidence. And I had to have that confidence in order to silence everything I'd been through, prior to that. And part of that is not caring about what anybody thinks, says. It doesn't matter, As people would call it these days, uncancelable. Who cares? I don't care. I don't care. I have no reason to care. I'll say whatever I want. So I'm trying to get back to that. And you've probably seen more just stuff flow out of me a little bit better. Maybe probably me moving a little bit better or different or something. But I'm just trying to re-grab. I'm trying to re-grab myself, who I am. So. And clear out the fog that's in the head. Because there's been a lot of reasons for a lot of fog over the past 10 years. And that's from my brother dying, my dad almost dying right after that because of like a broken heart syndrome, if you will, because I was his first child, to taking care of him for 6 years, to Jan's health, and it put her in the hospital for quite a while. And then the person who did the business taxes at the time, he passed away. And then come to find out, he wasn't doing them properly. And then I had all the stress of like having to pay, I think it was about $30,000 in back taxes because when the new firm got him, they went back through the old records and kind of tidied everything up, and it came up to about 30 grand out of my pocket. So the business was suffering. Plus, at the time, sales were just non-existent at the time. I think I was concentrating too much on media at that time, and that's before I switched over to hats. And that's the reason why I switched over to hats. But everything was piled on at one time, and nothing looked positive or happy for the future. And probably in the last 2 years, I've actually, probably a little bit more than that, but felt like, I made a comment on Facebook yesterday, how it's only been about 2 years since I've been able to start getting those "I'm not a failure" sounds out of my head. Because even building the business and being in debt and questioning if I'm going the right way, and then it causing issues between me and Jan for a little bit, I never felt successful. And what tipped me over the scale yesterday was when I shared my YouTube thing that I did over $100 in one day on YouTube. And I just started crying because it made me feel like, you guys made me feel like that something I am doing is kind of successful in a way. And that kind of validated it. Just because I was trying to get to 100. I got the goofy goal in my head on YouTube. Like I said, this is all gift money from you guys. I don't need it. eBay's the bread and butter, thankfully. So it's all like gift money, bonus gift money from you guys. But I always had this, how do I do it? How my mind works. How do I break the algorithm? How I try, do this, do that. And my first big goal is to earn $3,000 a month on YouTube. And that's $100 a day. So the fact that I hit my first day ever making $100 plus on YouTube, it really got me emotionally more than I thought it would. And not because it's money, but because it felt like a success. And it's like one step further away from those thoughts I had to grow up with, that I'm nothing type of things, failure and all this and that. It's like one step more away from that. And I've only been stepping away from that within the past couple of years. So for something newish to me, and to see the first little goal accomplished, a little piece of the goal, just kind of set me off. Sorry about that, but I was just letting you guys know. So, yeah. So I'm not pandering, and I don't want to say it too much because I don't want to sound like it's fake and pushed, because it's not when I say thank you guys for liking and just watching, and commenting. Because it's just pushing me farther away from feeling like a failure in life. Growing up, I would sleep like a homeless person in preparation for my future. So I wouldn't be in shock. I know what it's like to be around homeless people, to sit underneath a highway bypass with homeless people. So I wouldn't be just thrown into a shock system. I mentally prepared myself, and physically, for that future. I had game plans set out in my head of how I was going to eat and get food if I became homeless. It just sounds weird. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm 52 years old. Why the hell am I still bringing up are still feeling emotions from, that long ago. But it's just, I feel like up until a couple of years ago, my whole life has been fight, fight, fight. Fight to survive, fight to be somebody, fight to be successful, fight to not be a failure. And something as little and as stupid as a pop-up on YouTube made me freaking cry. But all right, let's get back to work. James, you're going to fail if you don't get back to work and get these items shipped out. All right, next up we've got Family Circus. Cherish each and every moment. And that's what I'm getting back to. This was a retail arbitrage from Hobby Lobby many, many, many years ago. Back then I paid like $1.50 a piece for these. I had tons of them. Oh, so these have been sitting around in storage. Headed to Warminster, Pennsylvania. Sold for $10. Yeah, so, oh, stupid James. Stupid emotions. Stupid. All right. All right. Next up, we've got LP box. All right. Now I know I made you. There you are. And just take off media mail. 13.6. Take off media mail. I'm trying to get back to that free, I guess it was that free feeling. It's more just doing things on my own terms. Worrying about myself first more than anything or anybody else. But this time, doing it in a way where there's nothing on my shoulders, there's nothing, no pressure on me, there's nothing on my back. I don't have the weight of the world. Like, what am I going to do in the future? Where am I going to go? Am I going to be homeless? I don't have any of that burden. So I want to grasp the feeling I had then, but without all that weight, and see where I can go. So that's what 2 days ago I told myself I'm going to do. So that's where I'm headed, trying to head anyway. But I'm excited to see I'm excited to see the thoughts back in my head. Like, I've always been creative and this and that. So I'm excited to see what new will come into my head from all these years of experience in life, right? And then with not having the weight of the world on my back or on my mind or on my shoulders or whatever you want to say. I'm hoping that I can be much greater than I ever have been, type of thing. We've got Forest Hills. Hat headed to the UK and sold for $7. Hopefully I didn't sound too stupid there, but if I did, I don't care. It's real feelings. So. It was probably, that's why I always say stupid James, because it's probably dumbass. Because in the broad spectrum of life, it probably is, but it's still my feelings and how I feel. And with everybody, I mean, I wouldn't think anybody else is stupid for saying it. I'm just harder on myself than anybody else. That is the root of who you are. So until you deal with the root of you, it's hard to grow, right? So you can't grow without roots. So understanding and knowing and embracing your roots, your past, good and bad, is the best way to flourish. To flourish and flower, if you will. All right, UK hat. 6-1. 7. 6-1. Enough of that, James. Get to work. Is anything sold since we've been doing this? Just one thing. So we're at 9:40 and only one item sold in the 9 o'clock hour. So kind of the difference, like 5 in the 8 o'clock, 6 technically, and then 1 so far in the 9 o'clock hour. $223 with 20 minutes left. But an offer just came through of an item I put up yesterday. Joshua Tree hat. The National Park, not the U2 album. Okay. Next up, we've got... Stop clicking on the wrong stuff. We've got... Where are you at? There you are. Mossy Oak Properties hat. Headed to the UK. So that's 3 international so far. Sold for $9. I'm kind of excited to do my first yard sale video tomorrow. Hopefully he will be there. I'm sure he will, the way he talked anyway. They got a lot of stuff to move and get rid of. And if they have that dumpster in the yard, I may ask them after I'm done buying stuff in the house, do you mind if I climb in the dumpster and look around? And then we'll make a dumpster diving video also, kind of really take me back to my roots and take me back to when I was 10 years old, climbing in dumpsters. So that would be kind of cool. So hopefully a dumpster's there and they've already got stuff thrown in it. It did rain yesterday, so that kind of sucks. But still, there's still stuff that won't get water damage you can sell. So, because they don't have any idea of any value of anything in that house. So I'm sure they'll throw a lot of good stuff away or stuff that I can make money on. So maybe I'll get a 2-for video tomorrow. So I got to remember to wear some crappy shoes just in case. Don't want to wear my good stuff. I've kind of been wanting to go to like a thrift store just to really get the whole, like how I should set it up. Do I need to adjust it in these certain ways? Try to get all that done when it comes to looking on shelves and stuff. But I just never go. And then most of them I know will play music, so I'd have to, there would be no sound, so I'd have to probably do some kind of narrating over it, which I can probably do on my phone, like when I'm sitting in the bathtub or something. I can watch the video and record my screen and voiceover. So it wouldn't be too hard to do, but I just haven't done it. So just throw myself into the fire tomorrow. All right, Jonathan Butler, CD promo single. Headed to the UK, number 4. Sold for $18. That's a lot of UK percentage-wise for what I got. That's a positive. CD International 3.6. We are at 9:43 p.m. So these are some of the items I put in my eclectic junk drawer store category. And the first video game, or the first store we ever bought out, was the Unique Audio and Video. And these were part of just thrown in, but they're just like musical note earrings. And I had a whole bag of these I listed, but sold for $10. So it's kind of cool seeing my first ever store buyout still making me money in 2023. Headed to Neptune, New Jersey. Sold for $10. Get it out, James. I need to put, I don't have no little styrofoam pieces to put on this. So I don't want to get crushed. So give me a case to put it in. Still doesn't really fit in there. Still crushing it. Cassette case. Ooh, I got one that's cracked. There's a hole in it. There's one with a crack. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'll say. Get in there. I was jumping around to some lives yesterday. So some that I've never really been in before. So just jumping around and checking other people out for a little bit. I really need to do that. I still want to do it. I just haven't found a rhythm for it yet. To do my live and do like teaching. Do eBay search teaching and learning and stuff. Finding new items to look for and things like that. The way I used to do it when I started the business. Sitting for 2 and 3 hours at a night, every night. Scrolling eBay solds, looking up random things, taking in the information. So I really want to start that live. I still do. It's just finding the exact moment, day, time, or whatever. It's just been tough. Got a vintage Pennsylvania University sweatshirt. Headed to Maine. Oh, yes. No, that's Michigan. Dang. And sold for $21. $21. When I said earlier how I call myself dumbass, growing up, my dad always called me dumbass. So now I say it to myself like in jest, kind of like taking the sting out of the word, you know, type of thing. And in no way do I'm, everybody, you know, nobody's a perfect parent in my eyes. Even the people who, whoa, no, go backwards. Even the people who try to be perfect, in my opinion, may be doing more harm than good. You know, if you over baby your kid too much, you know, come out spoiled, if you will, you mean good. So I don't think anybody has the perfect parents, but that don't make them bad parents, in my opinion. You know, it's just, they've been through stuff in their life that may make them act or be or do certain things certain ways. And I'm sure I've probably done the same, or not the same, but you know, not perfect situations with the boys, you know. So I don't say, like, when I say the things that might sound negative against my parents, it's not I'm not meaning it negative, and more like, it's more like an acceptance and I guess acceptance, and the fact that it's part of me, it's part of who I am, and what makes me me, and how, you know, you grow from things like that, if you will, I guess. I don't know. PlayStation hat. This has been in the store forever. I can't believe this one set so long, but this is not the piece I was talking about earlier. Sold for $31. Headed to South Carolina. And I say it for two reasons. Because I've accepted things and I deal with it, but also to show other people that if it's happened to you, you're not alone. Accept it and grow from it, better yourself from it, type of thing. Because we're all human, and even though a lot of people these days try to think or play out that everybody should be the same and be perfect, and you can never say something wrong. No, we do every day. Every day we can say something, and we probably do in some fashion. It's going to sound wrong to somebody somewhere, right? So that's probably the biggest thing I hate about the whole cancel culture thing. Like the way they went after, like, Kevin Hart, who said something 10 years ago, or, well, probably like 13 years now. How they tried to go after somebody like that, who said something so long ago when you were a totally different person then, you know? Different experiences. The world was different. I mean, things that I said and friends I grew up with said in the 80s, which was meant as no harm. If somebody of today's generation looked at it, they would think it meant harm because they didn't live in that time and would want to cancel us for saying things like that. But that's, I think, where inexperience comes in when it comes to people trying to canceling people, is you didn't grow up in generations past. Sure, it may be a little frowned upon today, and that person may not even say it today. So you can't go after them for saying it yesterday when it was a totally different world, totally different time and space, you know. And it was not always, I'm not saying 100%, but it wasn't always done in a negative light. It was more of a jest, or, you know, just part of the vocabulary of the day or whatever. So doesn't make it right, but that don't mean, you know, the person was ill intent. That's the word at the time. St. Louis Cardinals hat. Headed to Indiana, sold for $8. So it's just accepting, you know, everything in the past. Don't feel guilty about anything. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty about anything in your past. As long as you are a better person today, that's all that matters. And as long as next week you look back and you think you're a little bit better person than you were today. You grew in some way, some form, some fashion. Because 9 times out of 10, these people who go after people for that, they have skeletons in their closet that would put them in the same boat. And a lot of them have been called out on it. So I'm glad to see that whole thing is kind of dying out, at least. There's a lot more people unafraid to talk nowadays, right? At least the first part of 2023. There's a lot more people who's not afraid of that crap anymore. Alrighty, we got a St. Louis Cardinals women's t-shirt headed to Virginia and sold for $9. Even some of the younger generation, there's this, I wish I could remember his name, this young comedian. I see him sometimes on YouTube and on TikTok. And the last one I saw, he was making jokes about trans people about how you can't make jokes about them, but yet he made jokes the way he did. And I wish I knew his name. And he transitioned into how they don't have it so bad. Somebody with legs has it worse. And then it turned into a wheelchair, handicap trans kind of back and forth joke type thing, ending with the word transportation. If you saw the video, you probably know what I'm talking about. But it's good to see a younger generation making jokes about things that people try to say you can't joke about. Because jokes are off limits. Jokes are jokes. What makes jokes funny is knowing they're wrong. That's what comedy is. When you hear a joke and you go, oh, that's so wrong, and you laugh your ass off, saying that that's wrong, that's comedy. The people not laughing going, what's so funny? That's real. Those are the ones you need to worry about. The ones you don't need to worry about are the ones laughing because they understand how wrong it is. The ones going, that's not a joke, that's real life. Those are the scary people. Alrighty, next up we got a women's Cardinals cap staying in the area. St. Louis, sold for $9.50. Where are we at? Ooh, we're already over 1 hour, huh? That's what you get when you talk out your ass, James. Alright, let me knock these out real quick. And we'll get to the post office. That's a U.S. hat. Boom, 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 boom. Ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom. The video I'm tacking on is only like 25 seconds, so. $3 bill, y'all. St. Louis. Joe's Records, STL. Sold for $6, free shipping. $3 bill, y'all. All right. U.S. Media Mail CD. No, that's cassette, James. You hit the wrong one. There you go. There you go. Very good, James. Very good. So we're at 9:57. So in 3 minutes, we'll check, see where I am at 10 o'clock. So after we get these 3 items done. Here is the piece that kind of indicated to me that vintage stuff was slowing down, and this is cool Tommy Hilfiger fleece baseball cap Very kick-ass piece. Bayshore, New York, sold for $35. Finally sold. I don't even think I ever got an offer on that hat. Very cool hat, though. I love that. If I wore that hat, that kind of a hat, I would wear that. And maybe that's it. Maybe it's a style of a hat. It's kind of a floppy hat, almost. I'll wait till... All right. We've got some Virginia Cavaliers gym shorts. Hey, another international. No, it's not. I saw Sydney. I thought Australia. It's not. Hampden City, Virginia. So some Virginia shorts going back to Virginia. So for $14. Virginia t-shirt bagay. The t-shirt bagay. I had maybe one True Gather, one Bonanza this week. Those sales kind of vanished. 7, 8. One more item to go. You notice when you get into like the clear heading mode, getting rid of the fog and stuff, you see things a lot clearer, a lot better. Even like your surroundings, like when you get your head clear, you start organizing more, you start cleaning more, because when you're bogged down with stuff, even the littlest things like putting something back where it belongs kind of goes by the wayside, right? So at least with me, I see a lot more like organizing and stuff I'm doing. Does this guy go out today because it's broken case? Let's see. We can just end this video now if not. Nope. So CD sold for $7. Ooh, just got an offer. Another offer at least. So that's 2. Another hat I put up yesterday. So that's 2. The 2 offers I had were 2 hats I put up yesterday. Promising. Promising start. All right. So we were at 223. We are at 1001. And we are at 223. Haven't sold a damn thing. Made 2 sales, I just haven't paid. Wah, wah, wah. All right. So that is it. Stay tuned for my little short video. Thanks everybody for all the views and the likes and the comments and all that good stuff. Boom, boom, boom. And that is all. Thanks, everybody. I hope you guys have a good weekend if I don't talk to you. But I should have, I know I've got like at least one video set for tomorrow. And then hopefully I'll have that yard sale video up tomorrow sometime also. So thanks, everybody. And I will see you all in the next video. Later.